Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on Venus and Adonis. We're getting actually very close to the end of Venus and Adonis, and this is a play wherein a goddess tried to and then succeeded in seducing a mortal man who did not want to go for round two. He wanted to hunt a boar, and said boar killed him. It gored him, and she found his corpse. And she's been eulogizing and mourning him after having found said corpse. You know, the whole ground around him is covered in blood, and she was mourning, and then she started smearing his blood all over herself, and she's, you know, angry at death and angry at the boar and all this sort of stuff. But then she takes a moment and she actually looks at him. She looks at the dead Adonis's body, and the fact that, you know, his lips are now pale and his hands are now cold, and she opens his eyelids and she sees that what used to be there isn't there anymore. And that's where stanza 189 picks up today. Stanza 189 starts with, or continues with, two glasses where herself beheld 1,000 times, and now no more reflect. Their virtue lost wherein they late excelled, and every beauty robbed of his effect. Wonder of time, quoth she, this is my spite, that thou, being dead, the day should yet be light. Since thou art dead, lo, here I prophesy, sorrow on love hereafter shall attend. It shall be waited on with jealousy, find sweet beginning, but unsavory end. Ne'er settled equally, but high or low, that all love's pleasure shall not match his woe. It shall be fickle, false, and full of fraud. Bud and be blasted in a breathing while. The bottom poison, and the top o'erstrawed with sweets that shall the truest sight beguile. The strongest body shall it make most weak, strike the wise dumb, and teach the fool to speak. It shall be sparing and too full of riot, teaching decrepit age to tread the measures. The staring ruffian shall keep it in quiet, pluck down the rich, enrich the poor with treasures. It shall be raging mad and silly mad, make the young old, the old become a child. So the first of these stanzas is continuing to describe his eyes and how sad it is that what she used to be able to see there, you know, she used to be able to see herself reflected, but now there's nothing coming back at her. So in the subsequent stanzas, the last three of what we read today, she decides that she's going to curse love. She's not going to curse Adonis, she's not going to curse the boar, but she's going to say love in general is going to be cursed for all time. It's going to make people miserable, it's going to make smart people stupid, it's going to, you know, take things away, it's going to seem to be all sweet and lovely, but it's always going to end tragically. There's always going to be some element of jealousy involved. You know, she just starts laying on all of these horrible things that will accompany love for all of time, which is a little bit sad because she's a goddess and she can make that happen. So if you think about it, you know, when you first see somebody and you develop a crush and you instantly forget how to speak, we have Venus to thank for that, is sort of what this is saying. And, you know, when you fall in love with somebody and you can become really insecure that they're going to find somebody better, or realize that they could find somebody better, or all of these sorts of things, all of the insecurities, the jealousies, the doubt, the pain, all of those things that people can experience when they're in love, especially when love is new or as love is fading away. All of those things Venus has in these stanzas is laying on love. So my guess is that as Shakespeare was writing this, you know, the pain of love was something that was very well known and went back into the mythology of Venus anyway. So he didn't like invent the fact that she did, but I sort of love it that somebody invented the fact that Venus is the one that's responsible for love being awful sometimes. And this is the story that got her to that place where she made love just be awful for people. And she's not quite done. We got like 2 more days of this poem to go before we move on to the next one. So we'll have a little bit more of cursing love tomorrow, and then we'll do a wrap up the day after, and then we'll move on. But I'll see you tomorrow for more of this one. I'll see you then. Mwah.